Well, good morning. So, since I am not the most Christmassy person, I thought it would be kind of cute to try to remember some stories of Christmas to share with you. And I did remember a story. And I'm just going to post the rough takes and everything I did to put this together using Snapchat because I am the filter queen. All right, so please enjoy this story and I hope you enjoyed. And then let me know if you had if you had a story with a Christmas tree. It's about the only time in my life that I ever bought a real Christmas tree. Let me know your Christmas tree story in the comments. I'm sure you have some too. Okay? And now listen, it's a very important story. So, what do you guys do for Christmas? So, I'm usually never home at Christmas. I haven't decorated for Christmas since it's so long ago. I do have a funny story about the time I did. I mean, I was in Nova Scotia in Brunswick Towers. That's how long ago it was. And so it's a really long time ago because I didn't even leave there before I moved to Toronto. I'm celebrating 25 years in Toronto. And of the 25 years I've been in Toronto, I have never really decorated for Christmas because I've never really been home for Christmas. So this is, I guess, kind of a cool lens to pretend that I have a tree. And why does it shake though? I don't understand. And a nice home. I don't know why it shakes. Maybe it's because I don't have the light on. But why am I? But is this how people do that thing where they pop up and go? Because there's a lady, she does post about Nick and a laundry, and show it says, "Hello, Van Carthens. Today this happened, and this happened, and this happened, and this happened, and this happened." I don't really do that. But how do you make it? Okay, I'm going to try it again to see if I can, I don't have if I can get it to stop shaking. Okay, maybe with the light, it'll stop shaking. Okay, so it's still kind of shaky. I don't know how to do this. Okay, so let me tell you guys a true Christmas story about Amani. It was a long time ago because I lived in a place called Brunswick Towers in Nova Scotia, and I actually went out and bought a real tree. Like, who helped me do that? Did my friend Barbie help me do that? I didn't do it on my own because I don't drive. Somebody helped me, and I got a real tree and I decorated and everything, okay? But I always had a busy life. Like, I think it had to be when I was in university, or it had to be when I was running a Black youth organization called CAYG. So what had happened was I bought the tree and I decorated, and then my life was really busy, and I had no help now to undecorate the tree and everything. And so they had a note in the building that, you could take the Christmas trees to a certain bin downstairs. And they probably had that note after Christmas. And then I can't remember what was going on that year, but sometimes that's how my life was. Like, if I was either running the organization, or if I was self-employed at the time, or if I was in university, it would just mean that after Christmas, my life is really busy. So what had happened was I still had the Christmas tree. I still had the Christmas tree up in March. I had the Christmas tree up in March, and the needles were falling all over the place, all over my apartment. And I was like, oh my gosh, I completely missed the dates that you have to throw the tree away in that bin in my building because it's March. And that notice happened like in December after Christmas, okay? And it's now March of the next year. Okay, so it's still kind of shaky. I don't know how to do this. Okay, so let me tell you guys a true Christmas story about Amani. It was a long time ago because I lived in a place called Brunswick Towers in Nova Scotia, and I actually went out and bought a real tree. Like, who helped me do that? Did my friend Barbie help me do that? I didn't do it on my own because I don't drive. Somebody helped me, and I got a real tree and I decorated and everything, okay? But I always had a busy life. Like, I think it had to be when I was in university, or it had to be when I was running a Black youth organization called CAYG. So what had happened was I bought the tree and I decorated, and then my life was really busy, and I had no help now to undecorate the tree and everything. And so they had a note in the building that, you know, you could take the Christmas trees to a certain bin downstairs. And they probably had that note after Christmas, and then I can't remember what was going on that year, but sometimes that's how my life was. Like, if I was either running the organization, or if I was self-employed at the time, or if I was in university, it would just mean that after Christmas, my life was really busy. So what had happened was, I still had the Christmas tree. Up in March. I had the Christmas tree up in March, and the needles were falling all over the place, all over my apartment. And I was like, oh my gosh, I completely missed the dates that you have to throw the tree away in that bin in my building because it's March. And that notice happened like in December after Christmas, okay? And it's now March of the next year. Okay, so with post-concussion, oops, I don't actually remember where I left off. And also, when I look back at the video, there was a hat and Santas and things crawling on my head, and I didn't see any of that when I was doing this, so this particular filter is very freaky. So anyways, as I was saying, in December, they sent out a notice of where we could throw away our Christmas tree, like recycling in a healthy way. But I was really busy at the time. This had to be in the 90s, I think. Anyways, so I still had the tree in my apartment in March, which then became embarrassing. Like, I didn't want to take it out, but then it was January, my birthday. Knowing me, I probably went away, and I was super busy with whatever. Either it was artist stuff, university, or a job, or when I worked full time. So now it's March, and I still have the tree in my apartment, and it's shedding needles like crazy. And I just say to myself, like, oh my gosh, girl, Amani, you have to get rid of this tree. But I realize, like, I can't do it in the daytime because it's going to be embarrassing because it's March and Christmas is in December. This is why it's the only year I ever got a real tree or decorated. Anyways, so I set my alarm to wake up at 3 o'clock in the morning because I live in a pretty big apartment complex. There are like 18 floors, lots of people. So I plotted to go at 3 in the morning when I knew people would be asleep to take the tree by myself, this big old tree with the needles falling everywhere, down to the garbage room and throw it in the bin or take it downstairs. I didn't want anybody to see me because it was embarrassing because it was March. So I plot, I wake up, it's not fun. I get the tree, I drag the tree down. I drag the tree down the hallway in the elevator and down to the garbage room and barely dump it in a bin. Like, it's a whole thing. I don't know if I wore gloves. I'm actually also a bit allergic to Christmas tree. But I'm proud of myself, even though though it's March, I'm so proud of myself because I did it. I finally got rid of my tree, and nobody's gonna know that I had this tree in March, right? Okay, so I did it, y'all. Despite, I think I had to wear gloves because the pine needles and the scratching and stuff, and who would want anybody to see them in a huge apartment complex? Yeah, I must have lived, I don't think I lived in Brunswick Towers. I think I lived in McKean Towers. So you know what? This was when I was in university and just before, yes, just before I got a full-time job running a youth organization. I'm remembering it was McKean Towers because I lived in a really nice building in downtown Halifax when I got the job. Yes, I moved there because I had like a really good job. Okay, anyways, so I feel so proud of my accomplishment because it's so embarrassing getting rid of a tree in March, right? So now I go back to my apartment. Okay, so the thing is, there is a trail of pine needles. The elevator is full of pine needles. Like in the garbage room, it wasn't as bad. Like it's embarrassing, but nobody was there, okay? The elevator's full of pine needles. So I'm like, oh my goodness. Then I get up to my floor, and I live in a huge apartment complex, and there is a trail of pine needles. It's like that story. Isn't there a story about the gingerbread house or something? Anyway, there's a huge trail of pine needles, y'all, that goes all the way and then ends at my apartment door. So everybody's gonna know that I'm the person that had that tree till March. And I'm like so embarrassed. But it's like 3 o'clock in the morning, nobody's awake. So then I devise another plan. So I get my vacuum cleaner. Well, I have to vacuum in my apartment, but like forget that. Let's get rid of this trail. So I get my vacuum cleaner and I vacuum like outside my door, and then it can't really go all the way down the hall because it's a vacuum cleaner from my apartment. So I just vacuum like in front of my door, and then maybe in front of my neighbor's door, and maybe in front of another door. So I get rid of that trail of needles, but then there's still another trail of needles that go from the neighbor's 2 doors down to the elevator. And I just go inside, finish vacuuming, and go to bed. And I may have written this story somewhere once. I may have written it, I think. I don't know why. And that, folks, is the one and only time I ever bought a real Christmas tree. It had to be Barbie. It had to be my friend Barb. She's a professor now. Yes, I had to have got that tree with her. She seems like the type of person that got a real tree and helped me. It just seems like that's what went down that year. So yeah, it's been great though that my memories are coming back, you guys. My short-term, long-term memories started to come back like a year ago. So I'm remembering stuff. And so yeah, I think maybe that's what I'll do because so maybe that's what I can do this year is try to remember some Christmas stories. I don't have lots of jolly Christmas stories, but I know that I'm comical and quirky, so I know I must have some other stories. I spend Christmas alone so much, like since I was 18, and I'm gonna be 58. 58 in a few weeks. Isn't that crazy? So yeah, I'm sure I can think of other Christmas stories, or yeah, that's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna tell Christmas stories because I'm really I always used to be depressed at Christmas because I'm always by myself and I'm always so bah humbuggish, but I worked on that years ago by either finding asking a friend, like I'd spend Christmas with my friend in Atlanta a few years. And then I started coming to Trinidad for Christmas in the 90s after that tree incident. And I would stay with my family there. So I think I can tell some of those stories, like even about my first trip home, which was, because I'm really starting to remember things. So that's what I'm going to do. So that is one of my very true Christmas stories about the only time I decorated and had a tree. The end. And that's my real story about the first time I bought a Christmas tree and the last. I hope that you enjoyed it. I hope that you're enjoying Amani's vibe. And please, like I always say, please don't forget to like and subscribe. And that's what's up.